Let's just go simultaneously and open up a new program, and we're just going to say dictionary practice. We're only going to practice understanding how to create dictionaries, but then we are going to create a project that revolves around using dictionaries. So let's go and create C++ as your template. And don't forget to put the name here. Just say dictionary practice. So I'm going to say Callista's dictionary practice. Okay, so I'm waiting for you. Once that's done, don't forget to put in the Have you finished, Callista?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So let's go and put in our headers. So we'll click on create REPL. And then we'll put the headers and then we'll start a practice. So the first practice, Callista, is how to insert things in a dictionary. First of all, what is a dictionary? How does it look like in C++ or in any programming language? How do you insert stuff to a dictionary? And how can you be able to check if something exists in a dictionary? Just like you would do it with a language dictionary. If you're looking for a word, you have to go back and check if the word exists or not. So very similar situation. So first we're going to be putting our multi-line comment / asterisk, don't forget, asterisk and backward slash. And then of course in here you put your author name, your name, and then your program name, the name of your program.cpp, C++. So program name is dictionary practice.py. Date created. Date created is today's date, Callista, which is 16th of September. Oops. 16th of September 2023. Date modified. I don't think there's a date modified, so let's just not include it because we're doing like a prototype example. So now are you ready, Callista? We're going to start how to insert things in a dictionary. So what is a dictionary? So let's say you are collecting information from students and you're trying to find out the student identification number and also the ages of these students. So how would you store two things in one place, in one location? So first, we are going to create a dictionary. To do that, we're going to create a map, which we will use to save things to the dictionary. So first thing to do is we're going to be putting a hashtag include. We're going to be importing the map library. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do. Import the map library when you're creating a dictionary. Second thing to do is because a dictionary is going to be storing string input, we have to also import the string library. Then, of course, you know what to do. You're going to do the using namespace thing, std. And then, of course, now we get into the main method, and that is where we talk about how we create a dictionary. So now the first thing you want to do, once you've imported the map class, you want to be able to specify the type. So what is the type and the name? So to create the dictionary, you're using a map to do so. So first you're going to put map, then you're going to put the type, the data type, like what would your dictionary have? If you're going to have like student name and student ID, so both of them are string types. If you're going to have student ID and age, then it means one of them will be an int. The other one will be a string. So let's do string int now. And then once you're done putting up your dictionary, you have to open curly brace because you're going to specify what you're going to be putting inside of this dictionary. So let's say in the beginning, we're putting in just random things. Let's put in the names of fruits. I'm going to put mango and I'm going to say it comes with its value of 1. I'm going to put, oh, this is supposed to end, by the way, with a semicolon. So whenever you're closing a dictionary, it has to always end with a curly brace and a semicolon. So don't forget that. So here, let's put a couple of elements in here. So these are what we call elements. I'm putting apple, banana, orange, and I think the last one would be grapes, if I wanted to put in grapes. So I'm going to open parenthesis, the curly brace, and I'm going to add one more. So you can have like about 5 items in your dictionary, Callista. So this means you're putting in the keys The items that they're over here, the items on the left side are considered as keys, and the ones on the right side are considered as values. So keys and values. All right, so that's the first thing of creating a dictionary. Remember, first you have to import the map library, then you import the string library, and of course the using namespace std library, and then you create your dictionary. And you realize that we created the dictionary by using the map, and we specify the data type of the first set of data in the dictionary, which is string, and the data type of the second set of data in the dictionary, which is all numbers int. And then we gave the name of the dictionary, which is called just dictionary. You can give it any name you want. So now the question is, how can we check if something exists in a dictionary? So that's what we're going to do, but can you give me 2 minutes, Callista, and I'll be back really quickly? Is it okay? All right, I'll be back really quickly. Thank you. Calista, I'm back. Can you hear me
Mhm.
okay? Okay. All right. So, Callista, as I was saying, so as you notice, the reason we have this dictionary, which is different from what we have with arrays, even though, yeah, with arrays it's different because with arrays you have to specify one type of data that you're saving, but with dictionaries we're saving more than one type of data. And this is essential because the next project we're going to be doing is called the Morse code interpreter. And I did talk to you a little, I think, about the Morse code. I will be explaining it a bit more. And what it does is just basically taking the person's message, just like the one that we did for the Caesar cipher, but the only difference is that this is actually using Morse code, which means letters and numbers are represented using different type of Morse symbols, and I'm going to show you that. And then using a dictionary would be the only easier way to be able to save the letters, the alphabet letters and numbers, and then put their representation in Morse code so that we can be able to encrypt a message in Morse code and decrypt one in using Morse code. So it's just going to help us practice this part especially. So the next thing we want to do before we check if an item exists, I actually want us to learn how to be able to print stuff from a dictionary, like how to go over a dictionary and print things. So what we could do is we're going to be doing something like, let's try to do a for loop. So we will come out of this dictionary here. Give me one moment. Let me just check something because we will do it, or we might do it as a separate. Because we could also have done, if we created a dictionary, you can also, instead of doing this, you can also insert stuff to the dictionary. So what I mean is, this is another way I want to show you something, Callista. Let's finish this one and then I'll show you something else. This is just putting stuff ourselves. But what about if we wanted to insert stuff from someone else into the dictionary? So that's the one I will show you later on. So let's move on to this part here. We're going to say if, coming out of here, we'll check and ask them to enter a word. Let's ask someone to enter, the user to enter a word. So we're going to tell them enter a fruit name. Let's see if it exists in the dictionary. If we can find it, right? Okay, so let's say enter a fruit name. Let's see if we can find it. So we're going to learn how to be able to access things in a dictionary. And then I'm going to show you how to be able to go through the dictionary and print out all the elements. So here we tell them to enter a fruit name. But remember, we have to declare a variable. So we go back to the int main and we create a variable. Let's call the string. And then let's call it fruit name. So because we need that variable to be able to get the user input. So fruit name, we've declared the variable here. Now let's come down here, Callista. After we've asked them to enter a fruit name and say, let's see if we can find it in the dictionary, we're now going to give the user the chance to be able to enter this fruit name. So we're going to be using cn, right? And we're going to go with the opposite and then put the variable, of course, fruit name like that. And then now we're going to be checking if it exists. So if, okay, so you can do it in different ways. You can use a dot count method. And the dot count method actually works because it works to check that if it finds something that you're looking for, it counts it as one. So if it is equals to one, that means it exists. But you can also do this. You can say dictionary dot contains, and what you're saying is that you're trying to see if it contains something. So dictionary dot contains fruit name. So here you're trying to see if it contains the fruit name. Let me see. Give me a moment. We have a little issue with the, oh, I'm trying to see why we have an issue. We have a slight problem here. Dot contains, it says that there is no member. Let me try and debug this little error. Dot contains, let's see why I have this error. So it tells me that there's no method with dot contains, I guess. Oh, dot find. If dictionary dot find fruit name is not equals to dictionary all the, oh, okay. So they're telling us to use an alternative for some reason. Meanwhile, I actually have used this before, but anyways, we can use the dot find, and this means that if we don't find the fruit name, so if the dot find fruit name is not equal to dictionary.end. What this means is you're saying that you want to start all the way from the beginning of your dictionary, all the elements, and you want to find this particular, you want to be able to find like this particular thing, the key that they're entering, which is in this case the fruit name. And you're going all the way to the end of the dictionary. So if you don't find it, so if it's not equals to that, then you're going to be printing a message and you can say we found it in our dictionary. So if it doesn't reach the end and you actually found it, then you can say we found the fruit, whatever the fruit is that they entered in our dictionary. So that's another way of how to be able to search for something. So you use dot find and you're saying if it's not equals to dictionary end, that means if the compiler has gone through the dictionary and has not been able to find it till the end of the dictionary, which is why it says dictionary.end, then it means that the fruit does not exist. But if it actually goes and doesn't reach the end, that's why it's not equals to the end, then it means that the fruit has actually been found at a certain place. So can you write that part in? And then I'll re-explain some things that I wanted to explain. I don't know why one part is not working, but I'll check.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Could we also let me try something here because I may have not imported one of the libraries. Let me do something. And then I'll explain to you again, Callista, what we're doing. I'm importing the input-output stream library. Oh, I already did that. I already imported it. Okay, so I was just checking to see why the count contains wasn't working. Okay, strange. Let me try and see again. If dictionary dot contains, this was a method that I know it's supposed to work, but for some reason it doesn't work here. All right, Callista, we're gonna put an else. What about if it doesn't find that particular fruit? So we're gonna say we couldn't find your fruit in our dictionary. So here is if dictionary dot find fruit name. So again, I repeat, this dot find means you're trying to find something. And you're going to learn how we actually print these things separately and how we go through a dictionary. That's something we're going to be doing as a practice. But here we'll say if dictionary.find fruit name, so if it did find the fruit name, not just printing it out, but it just found that it existed in here, then it's just going, and it didn't go all the way to the end and it found it, then it will say that we found the fruit. However, if that's not the case and it went all the way to the end, you have to specify that it has to go to the end. There's the dot first and there's dot end. So going all the way to the end and it didn't find the fruit, then it will say that we couldn't find the fruit. And of course it will end. So that's the part that that's how you can search for things in a dictionary using dot find and not equal to the whatever name of your dictionary dot end. That way you're saying you want it to go all the way through each item until the end, and if it finds it, then it will say it found it. If not, it will say it does not find it. So once you're ready, Callista, we're going to run it and test it out.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right, let's run and see. Okay, so it's going to ask you to enter a fruit name, see if we can find it. So I'm going to write grapes. Yeah, so it says we found the fruit grapes in our dictionary. So let me run it again. Say enter fruit name. Let me say something else. I'm going to say watermelon. Yeah, so it says we couldn't find it in the dictionary. So that's how it works. Basically looking for keys. This is what we call the keys. The first ones are always the keys, and then the next ones to them, you can say their values of those keys. Okay, so any question, Callista? Did you try to run yours?
I have a lot of errors.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Can you invite me to your program? Do you want me to give you my username?
I think I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so can you invite me and then I'll have a look. Let's see what the errors are.
Okay.
Okay, let me go search. You've invited me already, right? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go open it up. It's opening right now, so let's see what. Ooh, that's true. You have a you have some errors. Let's see what's wrong. Okay. Let's keep it closer. Okay, so first of all, the error starts from here. Well, the problem is, Callista, is because you put a semicolon. So let's do the debugging together. When you're creating a dictionary, you just have to put the map. Well, the map is what you're doing to map the items in the dictionary to be able to get them. So you don't need a semicolon here. You just need to put in just a curly brace, and the semicolon comes at the end when you're closing the dictionary. Here, you're putting semicolons when you need just a comma. So you need just commas between each element, and that's pretty much it. And then here at the end, what's going on? Here too, you have a you have a curly brace, sorry. So that was not supposed to be there. So I think you are good to go. Yeah, you're good to go. So you can try running it again. Let's see.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. There's still a little bit of an error. So I think it needs that you need to add an expect. It tells you that you have to expected curly brace. So that means you have to add a curly brace here. And I think, wait a moment, let's put a curly brace. Yeah, so now let's try again. So there was a missing curly brace at the end for the main method at the beginning for this one. So now I think it's compiling successfully. Okay, enter a fruit name and let's see if we can find it. Maybe strawberry with, yeah, it's gonna tell you we couldn't find it because you're putting it with a small s. It's very, you remember it's sensitive unless we change the lowercase like to certain case. So you're putting with a small s when you wrote strawberry, put a capital if you wanted to be able to find it. And also this message, it says, we found the fruit, but I don't know why it's not giving a space. And you have a space here. So it's too close. We couldn't find, oh, no, it's this one. It's this one that was not having a space. Okay, go ahead and run it again, but remember how you wrote these elements, and then you have to write them because it's case sensitive. So unless you change them to a particular case when the user's entering. Yeah, now it says we found strawberry in our dictionary. Good. But there's no space between in our dictionary. So here there's going to have to be a space. All right, try running it again. Maybe try entering something that's not in the dictionary. We couldn't find orange in our dictionary exactly. So do you see how it works? How to be able to search through a dictionary? I want you to go over it and see if you have any questions at all. Just go over it gently, see if there's anything you didn't quite understand before we do another example of how to be able to insert stuff to the dictionary. Maybe you ask the user to enter the student ID and the age, and you want to save it in the dictionary. How do you do that? And how do you go through the dictionary and print everything out, and even the keys and the values separately? So go through this and see if you have any questions on this example.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, all right. So if that's the case, we're going to go and create another one. This is dictionary. You can call this dictionary practice 1. Let's actually call it practice 1 because we're going to be creating another one for practice 2. So hashtag 1, I'm just going to put in brackets how to check if an item exists in a dictionary, how to check if a key exists. And then just close the brackets. Oh, I think I wrote a lot. Just gonna put how to check. I'm just gonna put key checking because I put a lot of text. All right, so then that's it. Now let's go and create. We might not be able to finish it today, but let's get started. We'll create another program. That one is iteration through a dictionary and also iteration and also printing keys and values. So we'll go back again, Callista, to the home screen, and then we're gonna go to create. And we're going to be selecting C++ as a template. And of course, the name is going to be dictionary again, but this is going to be practice 2. and I'm going to say hashtag 2. And then in brackets, we're going to be putting iteration and displaying and printing. So iteration and printing, so that means printing iteration over the dictionary and also printing the keys and values. So dictionary hashtag 2, iteration and printing. So you're going to learn, now you've learned how to create a regular dictionary and how to set the values yourself without asking and inserting. Now we're going to be doing the fact of how to be able to create a dictionary and how to be able to insert things to a dictionary. And of course, how to be able to, how to be able to print out all those things that are being inserted. So are you ready? You finished?
Mhm.
Okay, let's click on create REPL. So let's say we want to ask 5 students in a class to be able to enter their student ID and their age, and we want to save that information in our dictionary. So the first thing we're going to do, remember we have to import some libraries. We have to import map, and we also have to import the string. But before that, let's put in our headers, or just at least a very short header because of the time constraint. So like that, and then author name, and put your name in there. Program name. This is again dictionary. You can call it hashtag 2 practice hashtag 2, and then date created. Date created 16th 9th 2023. And now we're going to be importing some of the libraries. So hashtag include the string one. Well, do the map first because we need to create a dictionary as a map, and then string. And then don't forget to do the whole using namespace as std. You can do it this way, of course. And then now let's come in here and create a for loop. Well, first let's create a dictionary first. Okay, so we'll do the whole dictionary, then we'll create a for loop that goes 5 times asking the person to enter their ID and also enter their age. So we're going to start it off. First, we're going to be doing the map thingy, remember? And then you have to specify the data that's going to be in your dictionary. So I'm going to call this, well, I'm going to do string int again. If you want to do string, it's fine. If you want to do string double, it's fine, or float. So I'll call this dictionary again, and then we come down here and we are going to be inserting values. So this is where we go for, we create a for loop, int I starting at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so essentially means 5. So I goes all the way to less than 5, which means adding 4 values. And here we're going to be inserting in the dictionary. So we're going to be asking the question, cout, enter your student ID. Okay, and then of course, don't forget to put this end line, semicolon. And then of course, don't forget to declare a variable that's going to be storing this in. So you can do this, string ID, you can do it here. And then cn, I always like to do it in the main class, but this is also fine. Here we're going to be telling them to enter their age. So here we'll say enter your age. Then of course we'll do the end line and then semicolon. Again, we create a dictionary. So we want to save this in our dictionary. So we're going to do int, I guess we can say int age, semicolon, cin, and then we could do age, semicolon. And then we could actually do dictionary. Now let's try to do dot insert, an open parenthesis, and we're going to be doing, inside of the parenthesis, we're going to be putting the curly brace. And this is where we're going to be specifying what we want to insert. So we want to insert the ID and we want to insert the age. Okay, so that's for 1. So it's going to be inserting the ID and the age to our dictionary, so we don't have to do anything else. So now we finished the part of insertion. Okay, so this is insertion. You can put a comment here, inserting data in the dictionary. Now we're going to be doing iterating over the dictionary or iterating through the dictionary, iterating and printing, iterating through the dictionary, which means you're going over each item. Remember that this is going to be inserting 4 things in the dictionary. So now we're iterating through the dictionary and printing out the items. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So we can use a for each loop, which basically would go through every single thing. And that means you could do something like this. This is a for each loop. That means you're making it automatically print out every single item. This is a very easy way of how to do it. But there's also another way of how you can print the the first thing, which is in this case, it's going to be the student ID. You print that first and then you print the age. You can do it in a specific way. But this way that we're doing here is like what we would normally use for a for loop. This is called a for each loop without me specifying, okay, I want to print dictionary I when I is O, when I is 1. I could just use this auto keyword automatically printing this variable item that's going to go through every single item in the dictionary. Printing dot first means the first item, and printing dot second means the second item. So this way we're printing the first, which is the student ID, and the second, which is going to be the age. So this is an easy way. It's using a for each loop. You can write that down. You can say using a for each loop. All right, so we can test it out. Callista, are you ready? We're going to test it and see how it works before we go. Once you're ready, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, let's run and see. Click run.
Oh, I have a lot of errors.
A lot of errors. Okay, let me try mine and see, okay? Then I'll have a look at yours. So let's say A101, that's my ID. My age is 12. Okay, it says enter your ID. I'm gonna say B102 and my age is 14. I'm gonna say C103 and my age is 11. And then I'm gonna say, so I'm supposed to enter 4 things. Okay, I'm gonna say D104 and my age is 15. And oops, how many things is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's going all the way to 5. Strange. Let me see. E101. And okay, there it is. It just printed everything. So you see that it just printed all the things that I entered, starting from 12, 14, 11, 15, and 11. Actually, this for loop went all the way. It was 5, not 4, so I made a mistake in counting. So it was 5 data items. So you see it's printing the keys and it's printing the values. Okay, let's have a look at yours. Did you invite me to your code? Let's see what's wrong with yours. Once you invite me, then I'll be able to go in.
Why, when I type your name, it doesn't show up.
Okay, just type it anyway. Sometimes it doesn't have to show up. Just type it as Alicia, capital A, running it down again. Just even if it doesn't show up, just click the invite button. It will invite me.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, let me go check. Yes, I got the invitation. All right, let me see. Let's see what's wrong. Oh, you do have some errors. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's debug it again together and make sure you're paying attention to the mistakes, Callista. So first map here, it says string unknown string. Did you mean std? You forgot to include using namespace. Remember, that's very important. It's like the name of the class. Using namespace std. Remember, we always do that at the beginning.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so that's one of the reasons. The other thing that you had a mistake in was here you close the brackets early. You're supposed to do comma, then you're supposed to close the brackets here at the end, and then open a curly brace. So here it opens, okay, you have already a curly brace here. Let's keep it the way it was. So I is less than 5. Let's see. Okay, so this is the this is where this ends, right? What is this one? Oh, that's for the class. Okay, no. This one is the for loop. This entire thing is inside of your for loop. Let's put everything arranged on the same line. So you forgot a semicolon here, Callista. And this part is into the age, here's the age, here's the dictionary. You forgot to put insert. What are you inserting to your dictionary? You're inserting the ID and the age. So that's what you needed to specify. So that's going to be inserted. And then you need to close this curly brace for the for loop, which will be this one. Just not sure why your for loop is doing that. I think it has, let me take all these things and put it inside again. All right, there it is. Now remove this extra curly brace here. This one is supposed to be inside of your class, so yeah, this one's fine. This is going through every single element in your dictionary. You still have a little bit of a problem here. It says it expected that in for statement. Oh, you're supposed to put a semicolon here, remember? So like that, yes, so that's it. So these are very, very tiny errors. Make sure you're inserting, you can say elements in a dictionary. Yeah. All right, try to run it now. Let's see. So these are really small errors that you need to be more attentive with. So you're going to have to enter 5 student IDs and ages, and then we will see if it will print it out for you. So it's still compiling. Let's hope the compilation is finishing soon. Okay, you can start. So enter your, oops, what happened? Okay, I think, all right, so you can start now. Your student ID, age, student ID again.
Does it have to be the same?
No, you can write anything, just an ID, anything you want. Yeah, it's gonna be 5 because we started from 0 all the way to 4. Counting 4, it's 5 items. Yeah, so there it is.